Okay, I'm going to walk you through this crisis budget. When you first open the template, go to File, make a copy, and that will save it to your own Google Drive because you can't make changes to this template the way that I have it set up. Now, this is a crisis budget. If you are looking for regular budgeting, go ahead and click this link and use the budget at that link. This is for crisis mode. Crisis being you think you might lose your job, you already have lost your job, you have mounting bills. For example, there was a medical emergency and now you have a lot of bills. That's what this budget is for. When you're in crisis mode, you are doing everything you can to ruthlessly cut expenses and preserve cash because you need that money for survival. You're not worried with retirement savings, college savings, saving for a vacation, those kind of things. You are in the present moment, just trying to get through the crisis, okay? As you go through this template, you only need to worry about inputting information into the green shaded cells, into the green shaded areas. Don't type into the other areas because you may mess up a formula. Okay, so starting off, you have your monthly income, or if you don't have a monthly income, you can put your savings in here. So start with that number. Start with the amount of money you have now that you can budget. As you go through the budget and input your information, you'll be able to see how much is left in this cell right here. Okay, so let's talk about what these three different areas are. So we have needs. These are your basic needs for survival. So you need food, you need any life-saving medication, you need shelter. So either your apartment or your house. You need to keep the lights on and the water running in that house. You need the trash picked up. All of those necessary utilities also would go under needs. Then you need basic clothing. Now, you may be able to get away with $0 in your clothing category. It just depends on what your situation is. If you are a single person, haven't gained or lost a significant amount of weight recently, don't have growing kids in the house, then you may get away with $0. And then there's transportation. If you have a car and you have to have a car in order to get to a job, then you need to put all of those costs in your budget as well. Those are your needs. And you'll see as you go through, your monthly needs amount is right here. So in my example, my basic survival, I need $3,474 every month. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about needs. This would be your mortgage and rent. As I said, any utilities that you need to keep the lights on, the water running. If there's something listed in my template that you don't need, like natural gas, I have natural gas heat and hot water. But if you don't have that, all you have to do is just delete that out. But if you do have it, then you can just type in the cell and change it. Maybe you spend a lot more than $40 and yours is $90 a month. So just type over the information that I have in the template. Groceries. So we are a family of 4. We spend at least $900 on groceries. So in the blog post, I talk about how for a family of 4, I think it's around $600 is the minimum you can probably get by with for a family of 4. And according to the USDA, kind of the maximum would be $1,300 a month. So based on that, and based on how many people you have in your family, whether you have special dietary needs, how old your kids are, you can adjust this number and just take your best guess. Just do an estimate. Don't forget about any pets. And then we move on to transportation. So in this example, in my example here, I assume that you have a car and that you need to put gas in it. You've got a car payment. You have car insurance. For car maintenance, figure $75 per car per month. And that will help build up some cash savings in case you need new tires or new windshield wiper replacements. Then I've got life insurance and a small clothing allowance. Okay, let me go back to this cell phone. So most people have internet and a cell phone, so you're going to need to decide whether you truly need both of those things. Now, if you work from home, internet is probably a necessity. But if you don't work from home, perhaps you don't need internet and you can just keep your cell phone and use your cell phone as a hotspot so that you can look for jobs on the web. And you will have a cell phone so that potential employers can call you. So you'll need to decide between cell phone and internet. Most people don't need both. Remember, it's a crisis. And if you can get rid of one, then that would save you probably a significant amount of money. Okay, so those are your needs. That is the basic stuff that you need for survival. And then your next highest priority will be your minimum debt payments, because you really don't want to fall behind on your credit card, student loans, any medical payments. So I listed out a few here. Yours obviously are going to be different. So you put yours here and make sure you're just doing the minimum debt payments. You don't want to try to pay off debt during a crisis. Now, if it comes down to making your credit card payment or buying food for your family or keeping the electricity on at your home, then you're going to have to decide what to do. And you're always going to want to go back to these needs and pay for your needs over your debt. I'm not saying skip out on your debt payments, but if you truly are trying to choose between the two, you need to pay for your needs before you pay for debt. Now, that doesn't mean that you just skip payments without communicating with your creditor. So definitely, if you can't pay something, give them a call, explain the situation, tell them what you're doing, tell them you're budgeting, because if they know that you're budgeting, they're going to be more willing to work with you. Explain your situation, explain what you're doing to correct it, and when you think you'll be able to pay them. And how much you think you can pay them. Don't lie to them. Don't be overly optimistic. Just be real. And then finally, we have the wants category. And this is where you're going to want to eliminate as much as possible. So I've got internet listed here, but I zeroed out everything else. There's no dining out. There's no extra for entertainment or donations or vacation savings. You need that cash over here in your needs category. So eliminate as many of these wants as possible. And hey, I know that doing that is a huge sacrifice and it sucks, but the crisis will be temporary. You will get out on the other side of it at some point, and you can start bringing back these fun things. So remind yourself that you've got this. It does suck for now, but there will be light at the end of the tunnel. And when you come out on the other side, you can bring back all of this stuff again. I'm pulling for you. I know you can do this. Best wishes. If you have any questions for me, just shoot me an email, steph@financialfreedomcrew.com, and I will do my best to help you. One last thing. Tracking expenses. This part really sucks, but it's a necessity. You need to track what you spend. So you can come up here to the month and put in May 2020 or whatever, and then you can just create a new tab. You can duplicate the tab. And then whenever you spend money, just type it in, what it was and how much you spent, and it'll add it up. And then you can look back on this spreadsheet and make sure that you're not overspending on this side. There may be things that you need to adjust. So for example, maybe you miscalculated how much you spend on electricity every month. So you might need to come back here and make some adjustments. That's okay. But this will help you ensure that you're not overspending, and it'll show you where you need to make adjustments over here. Okay. And if you don't like writing down your expenses or typing them here, I put a link to my favorite budgeting app. This is the review that I wrote. It's called You Need a Budget. You can click on that, and there's a link in there that you can get a 34-day free trial if you're interested in using an app, which will automate it and make this process go much faster. All right, again, good luck to you.